They thought they broke you, didn't they? The betrayal, the loss, the humiliation. They laughed when you fell. They whispered, "He's done." But what if I told you, that in those exact moments, Allah was building something bigger within you, not just strength, but purpose. Not just patience, but destiny. Because in Islam, when the world tries to destroy you, Allah often begins his construction. Ever feel like life is throwing plot twists at you? Like a Netflix writer who drank too much coffee? Yeah, that's not chaos, it's choreography. And today, I'm going to show you how every pain, setback, and betrayal might just be Allah's way of building you into someone they could never break again. So don't blink. By the end of this video, you'll no longer see your trials the same way. Point 1. The moment everything falls apart. Let us start at the moment most people give up, when everything crumbles. The job you counted on disappears. The friend you trusted betrays you. The engagement you prayed for shatters, or worse, you cry out to Allah again and again. And all you hear is silence. And that silence, it hurts more than the heartbreak. It makes you wonder, is Allah punishing me? Did I do something wrong? But pause with me here. Did Prophet Yusuf alayhis salam deserve prison? Was he guilty? Did he fail? No, he was innocent, a man of truth, yet still he was thrown into a prison cell, forgotten by people, but never forgotten by Allah. Because that prison, it wasn't a punishment, it was a passage, a divine hallway, a sacred waiting room, a hidden step toward a future he couldn't yet see. The throne of Egypt, the reunion with his family, the fulfillment of a dream from childhood. What if your moment of collapse is not your ending, but your beginning? Sometimes what feels like life falling apart is actually Allah tearing away what can't go with you into your next chapter. People, plans, comfort, control, and yes, the pain may come again, it may feel endless. But listen, repetition is not rejection, it's refinement. Each test isn't breaking you down, it's building you up. Do people think they will be left alone because they say, "We believe," and not be tested? Surah Al-Ankabut 29-2. Your trials are not proof of Allah's absence. They're proof of your preparation. He's writing something bigger for you. He's realigning your path. He's replacing what you thought was your future with what is actually your destiny. So when everything falls apart, don't give up, look up. Because even in pieces, you're still in his hands. Point 2. Repeated pain isn't rejection, it's redirection. Let's talk patterns. Ever notice how some struggles just keep happening? People keep walking out. Your plans keep failing. You feel like you're stuck in a loop. Good news, in Islam, repetition isn't cruelty. It's mercy. Allah says in Surah An-Nisa 4:19, perhaps you dislike something in which Allah has placed much good. Read that again. Maybe Allah is intentionally closing those doors because he knows what's behind them would have truly broken you. Ever try opening a door that says push, but you keep pulling? And then you realize, oh, I was fighting the door the wrong way. That's what it's like resisting Allah's plan. Pain isn't proof that you're off track. The proof you're being protected. By 3. They can mock you, but they can't delay what's written. Remember this, people can slow you down. They can gossip, lie, sabotage, but they cannot rewrite your qadar. The Prophet Muhammad was mocked, called a madman, even physically harmed, and yet, 14 centuries later we remember him, not his enemies. So if you're being slandered, if people are trying to tear your name down, smile, because it means Allah might be preparing to raise your name somewhere they can't even reach. But what about those dark nights, when even smiling feels fake? Point 4. Allah breaks what you worship. Besides him, one of the hardest truths. Sometimes, Allah lets people break your heart because you were worshipping them without realizing it. The friend you relied on more than do. The career you chased more than your salah. The love you prioritized over Allah's love, so he takes it away not to punish you but to bring you back. It's divine jealousy. Allah loves you too much to let you love a false idol. Think of Ibrahim as he broke the idols with his hands, but Sometimes Allah breaks the idols in our hearts. And that pain, that heartbreak, that's not destruction. That's spiritual surgery. Point 5. Emotional. Pain is a spiritual alarm. Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m., heart racing, breath heavy, mind spinning in circles you can't escape? You sit there in the dark, not knowing what triggered it. No loud noise, no bad dream, just ache. And you wonder, am I having a panic attack? Is something wrong with me? But maybe it's not anxiety. It's not overthinking. It's your fitra, the pure part of your soul that was born in submission to Allah, screaming for realignment. You see, like your body uses pain to warn you of injury, your soul uses emotional pain as a spiritual siren. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means something inside you is disconnected. Disconnected from meaning, from purpose, from Allah. It's your Ra saying, you've drifted too far. Come back. Remember why you were created. And I did not create jinn and mankind, except to worship me. Surah Ad-Dariyat 51-56. But what do we do instead? We run, we scroll, we binge, we text the wrong people, hoping they'll soothe the pain they didn't cause. But distraction is not healing, it's delay. What your soul really needs is silence, stillness. Sujood. So next time your heart aches, don't just numb it. Don't just label it anxiety. Sit with it, trace it, study it, and then surrender it. Say, Ya Allah, I don't know what's wrong, but you do. Say, guide me back to you. Say, I miss feeling close. Because often, the collapse of your emotional world is not the end of your stability. It's the beginning of your awakening. Pain isn't always a punishment. Sometimes, it's a personal invitation from the one who sees the distance and still waits for your return. Point 6. Transformation requires isolation. Why am I alone? Why did everyone leave? Why does it feel like no one understands me anymore? Here's the secret. Before elevation comes, excavation. Before construction begins, the area must be cleared. Crowds must scatter. Noise must die. Space must be made, because you don't build skyscrapers in crowded alleys. You don't plant deep roots in noisy soil. You clear the ground, you dig deep, and only then can you rise high. Look at the Prophet. He didn't receive revelation at a public event. He didn't become Rasulullah in the middle of a marketplace. He was alone in a cave, silent, reflective, hidden from the world, but seen by the one who made the world. That cave, it wasn't isolation, it was initiation, a spiritual construction zone. And maybe that's what your loneliness is too. Maybe the people didn't leave you. Maybe Allah removed them. Not to break you, but to build you. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. Because what's coming next needs a stronger version of you, a deeper version, a wiser version, a humbled version. And be patient, for indeed, Allah does not allow the reward of the doers of good to be lost. Surah Hud 11-115. So don't curse the silence. Study it. Don't resist the solitude. Rise within it. Let it reveal the parts of you that were drowning in noise. Let it uncover the du'as you forgot to make. Let it push you into sujud, not just out of habit, but out of desperation, out of hope, out of surrender. And when everything inside you wants to give up, remember, diamonds aren't found on the surface. They're found in the depths, in the dark, in the pressure, in the alone. That's where Allah does His best work on the soul. Point 7. When patience becomes power, let's talk about the cliche version, but the real gritting your teeth. Holding back tears patience. The one where you keep praying, even when you're mad at your qadar. The one where you forgive, even when they never apologized. This kind of sabr, it's not weakness, it's warrior mode. Allah says in Surah Az-Zumar 39-10. Indeed, the patient will be given their reward without account, unlimited reward, no Excel sheet, no calculator, no ceiling, because when you held on, you became unbreakable. Point 8. The return of everything you lost. Upgraded Allah never takes without giving better. Never. If He took the person, He'll return peace. If He took the opportunity, He'll return a mission. If He took the comfort, He'll return purpose. But here's the twist. He waits until you've become the version of you who can carry the blessing. Don't pray for the thing. Pray to become the one who deserves the thing, because then, when it comes back, it's no longer a test, it's a gift. Point 9. The victory is written. Your job is to endure. This sink in. You're not building your victory from scratch. You're walking toward what Allah has already written. The end is not up to you. It's been sealed in the Law al-Mahfuz, the preserved tablet, before you even breathed your first, and yet, your heart doubts. You wonder, will this pain ever end? Will I ever be seen, heard, chosen? But listen carefully. The Prophet said, know that victory comes with patience, and relief with affliction. Tamidi victory doesn't come after you feel strong. It comes because you stayed patient when you were weak. And that's what Allah wants from you, not perfection, not constant power, but endurance, to keep showing up, to keep praying when you're tired, to keep making dua even when you're unsure if it's being heard. Your job is not to make the moment happen. Your job is to stay in the story long enough to witness it. And while they laugh now, while they forget you, misjudge you, move on from you, you're not being buried. You're being planted, silently, steadily, strategically. And when Allah says, now, not a second too soon, not a moment too late, He will unveil you. Not as someone who made it back, but as someone who was chosen. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. Quran 2-153. So don't panic when the progress is invisible. Don't quit when the timeline doesn't match your plans. Your victory isn't in question. It's already written. The only question is, will you endure long enough to meet it? Because when your moment arrives, it won't just be a breakthrough. It will be a divine declaration. This is the one I tested. This is the one I raised. Concorcon, my brother, my sister. They tried to break you, but all along, Allah was just building you. Building your strength, building your iman. And soon, He will reveal why. So, don't let go now. You're closer than ever. And if you want to go even deeper, watch this next video right here. The power of compounding, how small habits become big barakah. Because just like pain compounds into strength, so do your tiny acts of faith. Watch next, the power of compounding small habits. Big barakah. Subscribe for more Islamic wisdom. Leave a comment. What pain has shaped you the most?